In this video, guys, we're going to look at what to do when a trade drastically reverses on you. Stay tuned. Hey guys, warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining me. Alright, so let's not beat around the bush. What happens when you're in a trade and that thing just flips on you? You're in it, all of a sudden, bang, it flips on you. Now, there's a couple of scenarios here that I want to kind of put into your mind. One is that you haven't got to stop in for whatever reason. Maybe you're actively scalping. Maybe your stop is wide or quite far away. For whatever reason, you're not getting taken out of the trade automatically. So you're kind of there, you're in a trade, and it's just completely reversed on you. So the first thing to do, if you don't have a stop loss in, is to cut the trade immediately and assess the situation. If you are unsure, my recommendation is always, if it makes you uncomfortable, there's something wrong with it. If it was reversing hard and you don't care because let's say you've been in cable right the way from 1.29 and it happens to be at 1.34 now, you're not that bothered about it on a kind of macro level. You want to assess it, but if it's bothering you, the very first thing you do is cut it. And if you can't cut it, at least cut it in half. There's a hybrid model there. You can go, right, listen, I just want to take the risk off. What you're trying to do is take some of the weight off your shoulders so that you can objectively assess the situation and not be completely overwhelmed by the change in P&L and the loss that's coming your way whilst the market's in freefall. Great example now in cable today. Obviously, lots of headline risk with cable because of Brexit, and you should be aware of that if you're trading cable. If you're trading any market, you understand where the headline risk comes from. That should go without saying. But let's say that it catches you out and bang, it's going down. Trim it straight away. Trim it. Deal with the situation later. Occasionally, you're going to trim it at the lows. It's going to rip back up. It's going to be a nothing. That's going to happen. But more often than not, it's going to save you. Because by lightening the load and reassessing, you are basically saying, you give the chance to even get back in. You can reassess it. You go, listen, I think it's a bit of a headline flurry. I don't think it's to be concerned about. Let me dial that risk back on. Let me put that half back on. And you're in a powerful position. Even if you have to pay up a little bit, you are taking control of the situation. What you're trying to avoid is being a situation where you've got a full size position. You've got the boat loaded. The market just goes against you. And you are there like a deer in headlights, not knowing what to do. Like, do I add? Do I kind of close the position? What do I do on my P&L? I was really going to... You don't want that. You want to take charge of the situation. Now, you might look back and go, it was the wrong decision in hindsight. But as long as you have a plan and you execute that plan, the plan should be something like, in my opinion, anyway, guys, let me know what you do in this situation. If you've got no stop, you're not going to get pinged out by any automatic means. Cut the risk right away. Whether that's the whole thing, half, just do something. Walk forward into the fire, so to speak. Go onto the front foot. Go onto the attack. Don't be nervous, sitting back, not wanting to do anything. Attack that. Take some of the risk off. Say, right, I'm ready. I've taken some of the risk off. Let me see what's happening. Let me reassess and gather my thoughts. I'm under fire here. I need to take some cover. If we're going to use a military analogy, take some cover, then move forward. You're under fire, take my cover, see what the situation is, then move forward. And that's what we're trying to do here when we're caught in a kind of market just swings against us. Now, the flip side of that is if you have a stop in, let's say you've got a stop loss in and let's say the market goes against you. Well, unless it's part of your trading plan to meddle with it, then I'm afraid you leave it. If your stop loss in, let's say you had a stop loss under this low here on cable, swing trading it, you bought this breakout, everything's going fine. All of a sudden, wham, it starts to come lower. You're watching this. This is an hour chart, by the way. So you're kind of watching this. You don't meddle because your stop loss is in a place where you've logically placed it and negates the thesis of the trade. If you happen to get pinged out on headline news, that's the name of the game, unfortunately, sometimes. Maybe there's something to be said for trading a kind of very headline-driven asset with such a tight stop, but that's something to discuss and that's something for you to kind of work on at another point in time. So two things, guys. One is if you've got a stop and you see the market hammering against you, only you're confident, obviously, the stop's going to be executed for whatever reason, then, leave that in because you've done that when you were cool and you were calm and you were calculated and you were designing the trade out. If it happens when you don't have a stop, then just trim the risk straight away. Get some risk off the table. Take some time to reevaluate, see what's going on. You might find you want to take the whole lot off, take the loss, move on. You might find that you want to buy it and you can try and find that turning point, that little price action low, the little wick, the exhaustion, all the things we talk about. We talked about before and go into depth on the program. You know, the dips, the kind of reversals, all these little nuances, the pause in the tape. You might spot that and go, right, that's it, now's my buy, and I can buy it back at a better price. Or you might go, you know what, this is brutal. This is not looking good. I'm going to trim the whole lot. But just do something. Take some form of action is the way that I like to do things. And hopefully that's helped you consider and add that as part of your trading plan. What happens if the price just suddenly rips against me? Anyway, guys, take care. Keep the risk managed. Whatever you're doing. See you next one. Bye-bye.